I'm so glad that all these channels are working today. Right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our Latin American sisters. If you joined, good morning to all of you. Good afternoon to our brothers and sisters from Africa, and good evening to our affiliates and brothers and sisters from Asia. Welcome to everyone. This is the third webinar, the Global Home-Based Worker webinar series. This is on how home-based workers are organizing in different regions, different forms and strategies. This is the second part of the webinars that we've had. Last time we had our sisters from Home-Based Workers Women's Federation and Macau from Kenya. And it was an excellent presentation that they provided, and we had a lot to learn from that. And we're hoping that today our Southeast Asian sisters can provide us more to learn. So welcome everyone to this series. The key objectives of these webinars are, first is to understand the different ways home-based workers are organized in different parts of the world. Second is to share examples of democratic structures and practices. And third is to share strategies home-based worker organizations use to improve the economic situation of home-based workers and to gain worker rights. Today's session, it is going to be a 2-hour webinar. But before we start, I was asked to provide a short update on the progress that we've made towards the launch of HomeNet International. So just a quick discussion on that. We were hoping to have a physical launch of HomeNet International in October 2020. However, due to the pandemic, now we can't have the physical Congress. However, a lot of us have been this part of this process of building and working towards the global network, some from 2018, some for many decades now. And so there's a lot of restlessness, and we thought that if we can't have a physical Congress, what is the next best thing that we can do? So we're planning a virtual Congress of launching HomeNet International. We've had a round of discussion with the HomeNet International Working Group, and some of the things that we discussed and decided were to have a virtual Congress to launch HomeNet International in mid-February 2020. We've not finalized the dates, but we of course will very soon. We're hoping to have a 2-day Congress with 2 hours each. I mean, we can't go for long because of these time zone differences. The aim of this entire 2-day virtual meetings would be to launch HomeNet International, official launch of it. And the next question comes, who's going to participate in this? First is the organizations who will apply for the membership for HomeNet International will participate. The second is, all our sister organizations. WIGO is going to be part of it, and StreetNet International and International Domestic Workers Federation, Global Alliance of Waste Pickers, and other trade unions who supported us in the past, and we're hoping will continue supporting us in future. The next category, we will have a few funders participating, but it's mainly us who will be there for the launch. Then the next question comes that, what will we do? The first is that we will revisit the history of the movement, of the home-based workers movement that has happened so far. And then we have these key decisions to make. First we'll be adopting a Congress, about the membership, about adding a few more people to the working group. Currently, we have 2 people representing each region. We are hoping we can add 1 more person at least to that working group from each region. So, expand the working group and, discuss about who's going to be the international coordinator. So, and doing all of this, we shouldn't forget that we also have to build solidarity and have a lot of fun. Let's hope we can do all of this just in 2 days and 2 hours time, but we're going to plan quite a bit for this. So this is just a quick snapshot of what we are planning for a virtual Congress. If anybody has any quick questions, I can take it. You can raise your hands or even unmute yourself and speak, or just raise hands. That will also work. All right, I don't see any burning questions. Oh, okay. Is there any question? I'm looking at chat box. None so far, so which is fine. I mean, you can also send in your questions, queries, whatever you have. This was just a quick snapshot of what we are planning for HomeNet International launch. Now let's carry on with today's webinar. So first I'd like to invite Laura Murillo, who's going to facilitate the session. And there are going to be two speakers today for that. One is Punsap from HomeNet Thailand, and second is Nuknapa from Fishing Net Producing Group. So I'm going to hand over to all three of you. Thank you for participating. Over to you, Laura.
Thank you, Jambi. My name is Laura Murillo. Good afternoon, everybody. I am part of the WeGo team, and today we will have the opportunity to learn about two organizations of home-based workers in Thailand. So please let me introduce you to two representatives. One of them is Mrs. Punsap. She is the Executive Committee of HomeNet Thailand Association, and Mrs. Nunapa, who is the chair of home-based workers who produce fishing nets in Khon Kaen province, and also the president of Informal Workers Network in Northeast region, and also the committee member of HomeNet Thailand. So please, Punsap and Nunapa.
Hello.
Hi,
yes. Hello.
welcome.
Hi.
I cannot see
Good evening.
Nunapa. I cannot see Nunapa.
นุชนภาเปิดกล้องหน่อยค่ะ แล้วก็เปิดไมค์ด้วย นุชนภา
Probably she's checking to turn on the mic and the
Yeah,
camera, but
because we stay far from each other, sorry.
yeah. Okay, so let's start with the interview with you, Punsap, until Nunapa can also connect and work on with the mic and the camera. So, Punsap, please, thank you so much for being today with us. I would like to ask you, what is the name of your organization and which type of organization it is?
HomeNet Thailand. In fact, the full name of HomeNet Thailand is HomeNet Thailand Association.
Okay.
And we register as an association.
As an association, okay. How many members do HomeNet Thailand have?
They are about 4,000 to 5,000. I cannot give exactly the number, no?
Yeah.
Because it's like running.
Okay. And what the members do for a living in the members of HomeNet Thailand? What do they do for a living?
HomeNet Thailand, because we are working in 4 regions and in Bangkok, because Bangkok is big city, and we work in the north, in the northeast, in the south, and in the central part of Thailand. So our members earning, they're living by various occupation like garment workers, food processing, producing like littlewares, and like Nunapa is working in fishing net producing. Some are working in agricultural processing product.
Thank you. And in which year HomeNet Thailand was formed?
In fact, we start working and we start organizing since we're starting to know the issue of informal workers since 1996.
1996.
And yeah, in 1996, and so we still separate in each area, but later on we come together. We try to organize at a network since 2003.
2003. And how
2003. But later on, we understand more in terms of membership-based organization, and we understand that recognition is very important and validity is very important. So later on in 2013, we register. We have a formal register as association. So you see that from 1996 to 2003 and then 2013, we have a formal registration.
Thank you. And could you tell us a little how and why HomeNet Thailand was formed? A little about the process.
You know that because since 1996, we do advocacy in terms of home workers, subcontracted workers. So we try to try to work with our member that they should understand that they are workers, because normally they think that they are not a worker. In Thailand, in terms of labor dimensions, is not well known on over Thailand, especially in the provincial level. So normally these home-based workers, because they work at home, so they don't recognize or they don't think that they are workers. So in the beginning, we start to work with them that to make them understand that they are workers. And they have the labor rights same as other workers.
Okay. And what has been the strategic organizing issues? You mentioned first of all to recognize themselves as workers and that they have labor rights. Do you have another strategic organizing issues that you raise?
Yeah, as I told you that in the past, in 1996 and 203, at that time, we have a lot of home workers in Thailand. And like garment issues, Thailand export a lot of garment products. So, but these workers, they have no labor rights. They are not covered under labor law. So we try to advocate with the governments that they need to protect the rights of these home workers. So we use the issue of labor rights advocacy as one of the issue that we organize them. But not only labor rights, because as I told you, labor rights may be not easy for them to understand, but at the same time, we also work like labor rights, and at the same time, we also work in terms of social insurance issues, that as a worker, they should cover by social insurance
Okay.
laws. And at the same time, we also use like occupational health and safety issues to organize them. Last issue is in terms of economic empowerment. We use economic empowerment as a issue to organize. So you will see that we use like in terms of labor rights, advocacies, and social insurance, occupational health and safety, and in terms of economic issues to organize.
Thank you so much. And what would you say motivated HomeNet Thailand to also add other type of activities, because right now HomeNet Thailand not only have home-based workers, right? They have also other sectors included. How this motivation to include other kind of sectors started? Could you just tell us about it, please?
In terms of advocacy, it's not easy, you know. So in terms of how you will be spotlight of the government, so you need to networking with other sector. So we are not, when we work, we are not talking only home-based worker issue. At the same time, because other informal worker occupation like street vendor, domestic workers, and motorcycle taxi driver, they are also informal workers. In some issue like that is cross-cutting issue like social insurance or social security is a cross-cutting issue. If you can network with others, then it means that you have more power. Your voice is louder. So we try to link, we try to networking with others sector. So it's become more sector join with home-based workers. So we have a association, and at the same time, we come together and has a federation of informal workers, but we are not registered as a federation. It's not a formal, but we call ourselves federation.
And could you tell us also one or two of the goals that you could reach after this long?
I cannot hear clearly.
Oh.
Louder, please.
Yes. Could you tell us, please, one or maybe two of the goals that you could reach after your long fight for labor rights for home-based workers?
Oh, as a worker, you need, in terms of legal and social protection is very important. So we want them to have secure income and secure social protection.
Okay.
So security is very important as a person, as a human body. You need to have a secure income, and at the same time, you need to have a secure social protection.
And would you say that you are one step forward on that path to find the social protection for every home-based worker?
We can say that in terms of our success in advocacy is that in 2010 we have a Home Worker Protection Act, and in 2011 the government co-pay the contribution of social security. It means that we are covered by social insurance or social security system, and the government co-pay about 30% of the contribution fee. And at the same time, we also partner with other organizations in terms of universal healthcare coverage. So we work hard in terms of law and policies, because if you focus only one group or two group and try to help them, you cannot help many people. But if you do organizing and at the same time do advocacy, if you get the laws or the government policy, it can cover many informal workers and many members.
Rosa, thank you so much. I would like now to...
And one more I like to add, Lola?
Yes, maybe. Please.
I think that up to now, we are not as the goal as we expect, because ours in Thailand is the gap in terms of inequality gap is quite high, a big gap. But what we are proud, with our organization is that our member are representative in a committees, several committee that related to home-based worker issue or informal worker issue. This was I want to add that in terms of organization and representation is really important for us.
In this committee, you have a tripartite body. I mean, representatives maybe from government, representatives from workers, and also representatives from
not only tripartite, but not tripartite in terms of informal worker issue. Maybe you need more than tripartite. Like you need academic person to join, because to help us speak in the committee. So like for example, that we are part of the home worker committee, home worker protection committee. We are part of the social insurance committee, social insurance for informal worker committee. We are part of the universal healthcare coverage committee.
Those
and
committees, those
universal
committees
health,
are, sorry, continue please.
National Health Security Committee.
National Security Health Committee. Okay. Punsa, thank you so much. I wanted to ask you what would be the challenge, the biggest challenge that you have right now during this COVID crisis?
I think in terms of the organization that you want to work in terms of advocacies, quality and quantity is very important. If we want the government to recognize us, both quality and quantity is very important. You need the quality leadership. You need quality leaders. At the same time, you need members. That's why in some advocacy, we need to network with others. This is very important in terms of strategies. So for HomeNet Thailand, we still need to work more. In Thailand, there are more than 1 million. It's almost 2 million of home-based workers, but we can organize only 5,000. You can see that we still have a lot to work.
Punsa, thank you so much for your reflection that we have to still work and have to work on organizing. I would like now to talk to Nunampa. I don't know if she's there right now. I cannot see her. I think she
นุชภาเปิดไมค์หน่อยได้ไหมคะ
เปิดแล้วค่ะพี่ทรา
เปิ
บ
ดไมค์เปิดกล้องด้วยโอเค
เปิดแล้วค่ะ
เธอบอกแฟนเธออย่าเดินมากโอเค
Nunampa, welcome to this series of webinars for HomeNet for home-based workers. Okay, so I would like to thank you for your time during this
สวัส
interview.
ดีค่ะ
เดี๋ยวให้เขาถาม
ค่ะ
ก่
ส
อน
วัสดีค่ะ
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, she's ready. You can ask questions.
Please let me do some questions about the experience of your organization. Could you just tell me the name of your organization and which type of organization is, like a union, association, or cooperative maybe?
จดทะเบียนเป็นกลุ่มผู้รับงานไปทำที่บ้าน
We
ค่ะ
are registered as a home workers group.
Home-based worker group. Okay, and when did you register as such?
ที่ไหน
2004 ค่ะ ปี 2004 ค่ะ
I have registered as a home worker group since 2004.
2004. Okay, and the members, which activity they do?
Hair Uan ค่ะ
They are like fishing net weaver.
คนแปลมันไม่ได้แปลด้วยใช่ไหม
ครับ
แหอวนแล้วก็ทำนามี2 อย่างค่ะทำแหอวน
They are fishing net weaver and paddy farmers.
Thank you. And could you tell us a little about the process? When and why did the members join this group?
ไม่ได้ยินคุณแปลค่ะ
ถามว่า
เขา
ทำไม
ถามเราว่า
สมาชิก พี่ช่วยแปลทำไมสมาชิกถึงเข้ามารวมกลุ่มกับเรา ความจริงนุชควรจะเล่า2 ชั้นนะ ชั้น 1คือเป็นสมาชิกของกลุ่ม อีกชั้นหนึ่งคือเข้ามาเป็นสมาชิกของ HomeNet เนี่ยว่าทำไมสมาชิกเราถึงเข้ามาเป็นสมาชิกกลุ่ม
เดี๋ยวเขาจะ
และทำ
ถาม
ไมถึงพากันมาเป็นสมาชิก HomeNet
She's home. She's They are fishing net weaver. Can actually like hear the English channel? Okay, first I will tell the story why do they join like the home workers group.
เข้ามาเป็นสมาชิกกลุ่มเพราะว่าเวลา
They join the group because forming a group and organizing into a group can help member and each others. We also have a saving the group also form a saving group so that we can secure the fund so member can borrow this money in the difficult times. The group also enable fishing net weaver to contact
เวลางาน
contract
ของโรงงาน
up to employers.
ก็คือทุกสายช่วยแชร์งาน
So we have network and contact to kind of like share the assignment of fishing net weaving, either directly from the factories or from other first tier or second tier subcontractors. We also decided to join HomeNet because HomeNet educate and inform us about labor rights as well as occupational health and safety information.
Thank you. And
แล้วก็ข้อเรียกร้องจากรัฐแล้วก็เรื่องการคิดคำนวณเรื่องค่าแรงแล้วก็การลด
HomeNet also help us with calculating the remuneration or the pay for the work, and we can also do the law and policy advocacy so that the law can give us better protection.
thank you. Could you tell us, please, how many members do the group have?
มีสมาชิกทั้งหมด50 คนค่ะ
There are 50 members in my groups.
And we were just listening that you mentioned that all the things, all the issues that made you the decision to join HomeNet Thailand, like education, like information on labor rights, and occupational health and safety. Could you tell us a little bit how that your conditions of work improve after you join HomeNet Thailand?
ใช่ค่ะก็ดีขึ้นก็คือเราได้รับความรู้
After I joined HomeNet Thailand, I become more informed and I can better negotiate with the employer or subcontractors. After I know about my labor rights, also I can get the Social Security Article 40, which is the Social Security for home for home-based worker.
แล้วก็
And for the health,
ได้รับความรู้เรื่องอาชีวนามัยจากที่
I learned about occupational health and safety. Our member used to work without
เรื่องสุขภาพของตัว
the
เอง
awareness of OSH.
จากเดิมที่เรา
And after joining HomeNet, we have more awareness of our OSH. For example, the blood test to identify
แล้วก็มา
lead content, because our work associate with putting the lead in the fishing net.
พศ
I used to have like the lead test in late 90s,
ค่ะก็คือ
and the lead test one I actually like have was last year. So after joining the HomeNet, the comparison from the first lead test in the blood that I have and the recent one that I have in 2019 show that in my body I have like less lead content, so less like poison from the occupational health from my occupation. So I become more healthy.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that with us. I would like to ask you also, what would be the next goal to reach for your group? What are you fighting for right now?
Ờ, ก็คือช่วงหลังจากช่วงโควิดมาก็คืองานเราไม่มีเนาะงานเราไม่มี
After the COVID, I don't actually like get a lot of jobs
เขาไม่ส่งมา
fixing the net.
ลองเป็น
So I would like to be an own account
มาแล้วก็ผลิต
worker. Like I hide
เป็นตัวกลางที่จะ
kind of like I
พัฒนาหรือว่า
produce
จะเชื่อมให้กับคนที่
the goods myself, and HomeNet Thailand can be the platform to link me with the potential customers.
I cannot imagine how difficult must be the situation right now during the COVID crisis. Would you tell us a little bit what are now the challenges for not only for you, but also for your comrades in your group? Are they doing some other activities right now at home?
ก็คือไม่มีงานค่ะ ไม่มีงาน
We don't have any job.
งานน้อยลงค่ะ
We hardly have any job at all. We cannot secure a lot of net fixing or like net weaving jobs.
เพิ่มเติมได้ไหมครับ
The work become like much less.
ครั้งละเป็น
I used to get like we used to fix 100 or 200 nets per an assignment. During the COVID, the assignment reduced to like 50 nets that we share among our group members.
Oh, I see. I have a question from one of the persons who are joining this meeting. Is Vicky Kanyoka. She's asking, are all members of the group women?
เป็นผู้หญิง
So
ค่ะ
much. Yeah, the member are women, mostly are women.
Okay. And talking about women issues.
Okay.
Yes, one of the important points that HomeNet Thailand is raising is the empowerment of women. Could you tell us a little bit the experience of one of the women who are part of the group, how you could see the change and the empowerment when you see the workers saying, I am a worker, the work that I do has a value and I can negotiate. Could you tell us a story of one of the members?
ออืมเออก็ช่วงโควิดใช่ไหมคะหรือว่า
ใช่ค่ะโครงการของผู้ตลอดมาค่ะในฐานะที่เป็นสมาชิก
เห็นการเปลี่ยนแปลงอะไรในตัวเราเอง หรืออะไรเงี้ยเราเปลี่ยนไปยังไง
เพิ่ม
เรา
เติ
ได้
ม
ป
ด้
ระ
วย
โยช
ได้
น์
ไหมครับ
เดี๋ยวมานพ
ได้
ยั
เดี๋
ง
ยว
ไม่ใช่
เดี๋ยวให้
ไม่ใช่คิว
ให้นุชจบ
เดี๋ยว
มา
ก่
น
อน
พครับ
เดี๋ยวไม่ใช่
ให้
คิว
ให้
เธอตอนนี้ให้มานพ
ให้นุช
หยุด
ให้
ไว้
นุช
ก่อน
จบก่อน
นุชเขาถามแบบนี้เขาถามว่าเห็นการพัฒนาคือผู้หญิงอ่ะเห็นผู้หญิงเนี่ยถูกพัฒนาให้เข้มแข็งขึ้นอะไรยังไงบ้าง ในกระบวนการทำงานของโฮมเน็ตเขาถามเรื่องการเพิ่มพลังของผู้หญิงในขบวนของเราอ่ะ
ก็คือสมาชิกผู้หญิงเราออกมาข้างนอกได้ ออกมาข้างนอกแล้วก็
our female member
ต่อรองได้แล้วก็
can better negotiate with the subcontractors or like the employers, as well as they also join the advocacy. We are empowered to discuss and negotiate with the employers for a decent remuneration, and we also raise our voice to question why the government does not take care of us in the past.
Thank you. I would like also to add another question from the group. There are a lot of challenges with face women, such as daycare of children when they are at work. How do you tackle this?
Well, hello.
ดูแลบ้านทำงานบ้าน
นุชอีกทีนึงคลื่นมันหายไป
อีกทีหนึ่งค่ะคลื่นหายค่ะ
คลื่นมันหายไป
พวกเราพวกเราทำงานไปด้วยแล้วก็ทำงานบ้านดูแลลูกหลานไปด้วยค่ะแล้วก็ยัง
As
ได้
a home-based worker, I can balance the net fixings and also taking care of the family, as well as doing the paddy field. Isn't that heavy for you? Because you have to take care of the children, the family, and also like juggling other employment. Yes, it's heavy, but women are patient and they have like perseverance, so I can cope with that.
ถ้าถึงหน้านาหลังจากเลิกนาแล้วกลางคืนก็ทำ
So during the paddy season or the rainy season, when I watch TV, I also fix the fishing net. So I use my spare time to work the extra job, and after taking care of the household chores and tasks, then I can work. So whenever I'm free, I work on the fishing net after I have finished my household chore and taking care of the family member.
Would you like to give us a message to all the comrades that are right now watching you? A message like about organizing, how important it is. Could you give us a couple of words about your feelings right now?
ไม่ได้ยินค่ะ ไม่ได้ยินค่ะ
ก็ถามว่าอย่างนี้ ถ้าให้พูดสุดท้าย ความคิดความรู้สึกเราเกี่ยวกับเรื่องการรวมกลุ่มการจัดตั้งเนี่ย เธออยากจะพูดว่าอะไร
อ๋อตามความคิดหนูนะคิดว่าอยากให้กลุ่มที่ทำงานด้วยกัน แต่ว่ายังไม่ได้จัดตั้งกลุ่มให้มารวมตัวกันเป็น
If you
ทำงาน
are working as an informal sector, you should form a group so we can help each others. So we are informed about the right of informal workers and we should form a group, organize, struggle so that we can have our rights and we will not be exploited in terms of the wage and wage theft and other issue. So if you are registered with a government or agencies, you can receive public assistance schemes because you are an official group. So organize as an informal worker group is good because with solidarity we can help each other.
Thank you so much, Punsa. Thank you so much.
No, Nutnapa.
No, Napa. No, I want to thank both of you for these words, for what you just explained us. Share your experience of HomeNet Thailand and your organization of home-based workers, NUNAPA. Thank you so much. I would like just to give the last sentence and to say that we have to remember what just NUNAPA said. We have to really keep solidarity among us. And in order to build solidarity, we have to organize as a collective. Thank you so much to both of you. So over to you, Jambi. I don't know if there are more questions maybe from the chat. I could not follow that, maybe.
Sure, I think, sorry, I could see major questions coming on the chat, but this is the time when you can have some clarifying questions for both Nuknapa and for Punsap. So you can either type into the chat box or raise hand and ask the questions. But Punsap, did you want to add something? You were saying something.
Yeah. I want to say that Kun Manop, he is the president of HomeNet Thailand Association. He want to add.
Sure, that's great. So Manop, we'd give the floor to you if you can add a little bit more to this. Over to you, Manop.
ครับฮัลโหลครับ สวัสดีครับ
เปิดไมค์เปิดกล้อง
ได้ยินแล้วค่ะ
ครับ สวัสดีครับ มานพนะครับ
Good afternoon. My name is Manop Gaophaka, the president of HomeNet Thailand, and I also would like to add that HomeNet have helped informal workers, especially home workers on occupational health, income, livelihood, as well as policy advocacy. HomeNet Thailand enable us to register the association as well as the Federation of informal workers. And with HomeNet, we can mobilize workers to enroll themselves in the informal sector social security. Informal workers also mobilize themselves and advocate the Domestic Worker as well as the Home Worker Protection Act. This enables home workers to finally have a contract with their contractors or their employer when they get the assignment or the contract to perform work at home. So the contract is actually like the innovation after we form a group, we organize and we have an association, and then we have more leverage.
you. Thank you, Mano. That was very informative. Thanks a lot. Now you can ask questions not just to Punsap and Nuknapa, but also to Manop. He's also here. But there is a quick question for Punsap from Vanessa. She's asking, could Punsap please explain the split of contribution towards informal workers' social insurance? She mentioned that government contributes 30%.
Yeah. In social insurance law, under social insurance law, there are 3 schemes. First is for formal workers, and the second is for farmers, formal workers. Like you used to work in a company and then you stop, and you can go on your social insurance. And third one is for informal workers. In the past, the governments, because you have no employers, so the government said that if you want to be insurers, you need to pay T-part from yourselves as a worker, and you have to pay for the employer part and government part. But later on, after we advocate for more than 10 years, the government decided to pay like about 30%. It means that in their part. So we have to pay 100 baht for our contribution. The government, we pay only 70 baht, and the government will co-pay 30 baht, like this. But the benefits are different from formal workers. Formal worker we have 7 benefits, but we will have 3-4 benefits. 3-4 up to 5 right now is about 5 benefits. It depends on your contribution.
Thank you for explaining that, Punsap. That was very useful. We have another question from Chris. She's asking, do home-based workers join HomeNet Thailand Association as groups, or do they join as individuals? And how is HomeNet Thailand structured?
Maybe Manop, you can explain. Give this ให้โอกาส Manop อธิบาย
I will ask Manop to explain the structure of HomeNet Thailand.
ในการที่เข้ามาร่วมทำงานใน HomeNet ก็คือว่าตัวโครงสร้างที่เราทำงานก็คือเราจะ
ไม่ได้ยินเลย
So the structure of
ได้ยินไหมครับ
the structure of HNT or HomeNet Thailand.
ได้ยินไหมครับเปิด
ดีขึ้น
อ๋อครับก็คือครับโอเคครับได้ยินไหมครับ
ชัดค่ะ
ก็คือตัวโครงสร้างของสมาคมเองครับก็คือมีการ
The structure of HomeNet Thailand Association have different groups of home workers or home-based workers. For example, the fishing net weaver or fixer garment groups. I am with the garment group, and I am registered out my group with the Ministry of Labor, so that our group is now officialized with Ministry of Labor, and then we can negotiate with the public sector organization as well as the employers.
ถามแบบนี้
แต่ว่า
เขาถามว่าเวลานับสมาชิก
ประเด็น
เรานับเป็นกลุ่ม
สมาคม
หรือเราให้แต่ละคน คือสมาชิกของ HomeNet นะเป็นสมาชิกรายบุคคลหรือสมาชิกรายกลุ่ม
เราจะนับเป็นคนนะครับแต่ว่าแต่ละคนเนี่ย
The member of HomeNet Thailand is individual, but each individual also belong to a group.
In terms of the HomeNet Thailand structure, I can add.
Yes, please, Punsap, please go ahead.
In terms of HomeNet Thailand structures, because in terms of the member, they are individual because it's membership based. But we work with the member who are under the groups. So it's not really individual. They are joined with the groups like garment group or fishing net groups, but they are individual in terms of they have to pay membership fee individually. They will pay 20 baht a year for membership fee. And because we divided in terms of regions, so under region, they come together and they select, they elect their committee members. So they elect the representative. So each region have representative and they come together and then they elect the president and the committee.
All right, thanks a lot, Punsap, for that addition. Also, just to inform to all our participants, today is the first International Equal Pay Day also. And so I had one question for Noknapa. And, you know, of course, she mentioned that at this point of time, there is absolutely no work. But before the pandemic, when she did get work, did her piece rates that she got, was she paid in piece rates? And if she got piece rates, did it match the minimum wage? And if it didn't, how do they negotiate with the employer?
อ๋อ ก็คือยังค่ะ เพราะว่าก็คือ
Like right now, the informal workers are not paid the same as the formal worker, because the job that they actually like outsource to home worker is the job that is not performed in a factory. So I cannot compare like how many hours that the factory workers or the formal worker have worked and how much that I will get at home, because like the task that is assigned to home worker is the task that is not performed by the government, sorry, by the factories.
เขาถามว่าเรายังไม่ได้ค่าแรงขั้นต่ำหรือเปล่าแล้วเราต่อรองยังไงเกี่ยวกับเรื่องค่าแรงขั้นต่ำ
ตอนนี้เรายังไม่ได้ค่าแรงขั้นต่ำแต่ว่า
I have not received the minimum wage, but at HomeNet Thailand we are there is a research for the fishing net weaver by like timing ourselves how we can work and how much we can earn, so that the piece rate can be adjusted. And HomeNet Thailand Association is making the demand to the Department of Labor Welfare and Protection, so that we can kind of like demand better piece rates.
ให้กรมสวัสดิการคุ้มครองแรงงานเราให้กับนายจ้าง
We also want the Department of Labor Protection and Welfare to negotiate on our behalf with the employer so that workers can earn the minimum wage.
ตอนนี้กำลังทำข้อเรียกร้องอยู่ค่ะ
So HomeNet Thailand is preparing the recommendation and propose the Department of Labor Protection and Welfare about the minimum wage equivalent piece rate.
Janvi, may I
Yes, please, Suntri, please go ahead.
It's like this. She said that because she still don't get the minimum wage. No? The first thing is we do the research on the piece rate calculating with ILO and also the Ministry of Labor. And the second thing is as the association, we do the complaint to the Ministry of Labor that this group still don't access the minimum wage, and it's on the process of how to call it สอบสวนเรียกว่าอะไรนะคุณซับ investigator we are on the investigators process.
Right, thank you. Thank you, Nuknapa and Suntri, for answering that question. Now I think our time's up. So thanks a lot to Suntri and Nuknapa for, it was an excellent presentation. What we hear is, the strategies are also different from region to region. Some issues are different, but we also see a solidarity amongst, all regions talk about the same struggles that we have, be it minimum wage or occupational safety and health. They are unique in their own way, but also they're fairly similar across region. And so thanks a lot for speaking about that. It's great to know so much in detail about the strategies that you're using. So thank you, Punsab and Nuknapa. Now I'd like to open the floor for other organizations to speak about what are the different forms of organizing that you have. So our sisters from Southeast Asia talked about their own form of organizing and the strategies that they're using. Would you like to add? And I'm just going to, either you can raise hand or put on the chat, but I'm inviting other organizations across, whoever would like to volunteer to talk about it. And it could be somebody from Southeast Asia, but from South Asia, Africa, Latin America, wherever. So it's open for everyone. All right. I mean, till others join and raise hands, because I haven't found, oh, okay. We already have a volunteer. That's great. So we have someone from Ethiopia, from WISE. So can I invite you to let us know about your form of organization and the strategies that you use? Over to you.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. And this is Yohala Work. I am representing the NGO, and we are organizing the Saving and Credit Cooperatives. And I'm going to say something about how we are organizing the Saving and Credit Cooperatives. That's what I'm going to talk about. And to start how the Saving and Credit Cooperatives are organized, let me say something about the structures at the city level in the different structures, administration structures. In Addis Ababa is the capital city of Ethiopia, and in Addis Ababa the highest administrative structure is the city administration, and starting from that city administration there is a sub-city administration, and from that there is also a Warada administration. The Warada administration is the lower administration level, and it is just like a district. And when to say a few things about the organization for women in self-employment, WISE is NGO. It was established in 1997, and its main objective is economic and social empowerment of women. And for this economic and social empowerment, for achieving these objectives, it has established Saving and Credit Cooperatives. Starting its commencement in 1997, it has established 87 Saving and Credit Cooperatives. And in this it's 7 saving and credit cooperatives. It recruits women, low-income women, or who are self-employed, or who are willing to join the self-employment sector. And recently we are giving trainings for those young women who are interested joining the wage labor market. So for when I come to the self-employment sector, we organize the saving and credit cooperatives. First, when we have funds from donor organization, we want to establish saving and credit cooperatives, and at the beginning, we will go to the sub-city administration. It is the second administration level from the city administration. Then comes the sub-city administration. And under one, in Addis Ababa, the capital city, there are 10 sub-cities in the city administration. So when we want to establish saving and credit cooperatives, first we contact the sub-city administration to identify the warada, the district that is where there are lots of low income or women with no income. So the sub-city administration identifies the warada, it's the lower administration level, and after the sub-city administrators identify the warada, we will go to the warada and contact women in children affairs offices there in the warada. Then in that warada, we contact the women in children affairs office to identify the women who are eligible for being members of the saving and credit cooperatives. And that's how we establish the saving and credit cooperatives. And after identifying the members by the Women in Children Affairs Office, we check the eligibility. We have, the organization has its own criteria for making the women to join the saving and credit cooperative. So when the Women in Children Affairs Office send lists of women, we check their eligibility for being the members of the saving and credit cooperatives by going door to door. Then after verifying that they are eligible for being members of the saving and credit cooperatives, the women start saving in the cooperatives. And after they start saving, we provide them trainings. The first mandatory training is basic business skills. And as I already mentioned, our objective is making the women economically and socially empowered. So our first priority is economic empowerment. So for making them to engage in different micro businesses, we first provide them with the basic business skills. Then after, this is a mandatory training for accessing the other, in addition to the saving service, we also provide the loan service and insurance service and other kinds of services, both financial and non-financial. So basic business skills training is a mandatory training for them accessing loans. So the first training is the basic business skill training. And we also provide other trainings, business related, health related, self-development in life skills. And also, since most of them are illiterate, we also provide a child to mother literacy and numeracy programs. And in addition to that, by focusing on the young women, we also provide vocational trainings. The technical and vocational TVET sector gave us a license for providing 3 types of vocational trainings for the young women. These are the basic apparel making, basic housekeeping, and basic computer. So we provide these trainings for the young ones. And in addition to this, we also provide health trainings, basic health training. And for the young ones, we also provide reproductive health trainings. And for their self-development, we also provide life skills training. These are the major trainings. And in addition to that, we also provide leadership trainings. And when I come back to the organizing part, after the saving and credit cooperatives are established, we the members elect 19 committee members in the saving and credit cooperative. So in one saving and credit cooperative, there are 19 committee members. And from these 9 committee members, 7 of them are the executive committee, and the others are divided into different kinds of subcommittees. There are education and training committee, 3 of them are in this group, and there are another 3 members, committee members, who are loan committee members. And there are also another 3 for the monitoring committee, and the 1 is conflict resolution committee. And all these are 19. So the executive committee are 7. These are the structure. And the highest structure is the General Assembly. From the General Assembly, there are 90 committee members, and the 90 committee members are divided into different subcommittees: the Executive Committee, the Education and Training Committee, Loan Committee, Monitoring and Conflict Resolution Committee. These are their structure. And when the women, after taking, as I already mentioned, the basic business skills is a mandatory training for accessing the first cycle loan. So when a woman wants to take loan, she applies, and the loan committee approves her loan. So after the approval of the loan committee of an individual, she will be eligible for taking that loan. And if she is currently engaged in any kind of micro business, the basic business skills training helps her to decide whether she continues with her current engagement or change another business. So she decides in the training by herself. We don't force them to change or continue in their engagement. So it's their own decision. So in the training, they decide and start their engagement. So this first cycle cycle loan helps them for further strengthening their engagements. And in the saving and credit cooperatives, the saving and engagement in different income generating activities is individual. They individually save, they individually take loans, and they individually work in different business types. So for one saving and credit cooperative to be effective, on average, or the minimum number of membership is 250 members, and they can have more than that. And if the members of the cooperatives are interested in working as groups, they have the right to organize another group of organizations and engage in different group businesses. For example, in food preparation business, or any kind of business. So these are the main things. If you have any question, you are welcome.
Thank you, Yohalar. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Yeah, it's okay, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. I've actually got a lot of responses, and I think if we can give 10 minutes to each speaker right now. So the next in line is Sapa Nepal. Then we have HomeNet Philippines, then Seva West Bengal, and last one Suntri suggested somebody now, which is this organization, Suntri, if you could just repeat that name. All right, you're on mute,
I said
Suntri.
HomeNet in Indonesia. HomeNet
HomeNet
Indonesia.
Indonesia. All right, so we have Sabah Nepal, then we have HomeNet Philippines, then Seva West Bengal, and HomeNet Indonesia. So 10 minutes each. Thank you. So over to you, Sabah Nepal.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Robin from Sabah, Nepal. I wanted to share my slide, but unfortunately, I did not have access. I couldn't access the computer. So I'll just quickly tell you, what Sabah is and how we are organizing and how we are conducting business through collective model. So Sabah was established back in 2009, and we are sustaining through our own business activities. And now we are also sharing our experiences with other organizations from projects. So we are registered under the Companies Act of Nepal. So we are registered as a business for not distributing profit. So its model is like, so from an individual home-based workers to a trade facilitation center. So, one individual home-based worker can go from being an individual entrepreneur or to forming a group, and also doing a business through a community business model through to a bigger or larger trade facilitation center that we have. So one person can have several choices. So, and our uniqueness is common facilitation center model, which we adopted from Seva's model of Seva Ahmedabad, Seva India model. So we are not only organizing, but also we are creating. Okay. So, okay, I'm getting some messages here from, so basically we organize dispersed home-based workers in a geographical way, or also in a, with their skill sets. So we organize individual home-based workers into a group, and we train their group leaders or the coordinators for different organizational needs. So we provide them with a lot of technical as well as non-technical skills. So basically, home-based workers have certain skill sets. So we help them in enhancing their skill sets to produce market-oriented products, and eventually to form a business of their own. So that is the uniqueness about Sabah's business model, where every unit of or the group of home-based workers create their own business enterprise. So we believe in value chain model, and we believe in creating business at every step of the value chain. So that is the basis or the backbone of organization of home-based workers, in Sabah, Nepal's context. So Sabah has created a brand of home-based workers. Sabah Nepal is an organization, but Sabah has also an umbrella brand called Sabah. So this brand represents the home-based workers of Nepal. Under this umbrella brand Sabah, it has many other sub brands. For example, in food sector that we are working on, we are calling it the Village. So Village also has different product line. So this has helped us to keep different sectors of home-based workers organized. And so now this organization is governed by the home-based workers themselves, with the help of we have 11-member board in Sabah, and 5 are from so experts. So we have included 5 experts who work voluntarily in the board of Sabah, and rest are the home-based workers. So, so they are in the governing board of Sabah, and they're also, well, obviously they are the owners of this organization. So they are the owner shareholder of this organization, and they're managing their businesses as well. So I guess, like, the short and sweet message here would be, like, once, members or the group start making their own money, that helps them to keep, their unit stronger. So that boosts their organizational skills. For that, Sabah Trade Facilitation Center, we help them in different activities. First of all, in organizational skills, and which includes leadership skills also. So other is, like, to keep their business moving forward, we help them in product design and development, resource management. So from raw materials to, financial assistance for, working capital related activities. So that, and the most important one, market linkages and the business development support. So these are the support activities which is provided by the Trade Facilitation Center. And we, envision that, these groups make their business sustainable in their through various business activities, selling their products locally as well as in mainstream national market, regional market, and also in export market. So so we encourage them to think business from from day one. So eventually, our incubation period is 2 years for any common facilitation center. So after that, we expect, all these CFCs to be independent and, self-sustainable in a long run. So this is Sabah's experience in a nutshell. So if there are any more, so, I guess, like, just talking doesn't really help. If I could have shown you certain figures, and that would have been more helpful. But, thank you for giving us this platform. And some of our home-based workers, some of the home-based workers affiliated with Sabah Nepal, they're also in this Zoom. So you can also interact with them if you are interested. Thank you very much.
So thanks a lot, Robin G. And just to mention that Vanessa was there in Nepal last year, and she saw the work of Sabah Nepal. And Yohalar, she could draw similarities between Sabah Nepal and WISE. So it might be interesting for both of your organizations from Africa and South Asia to interact and see, what sort of similarities do you have, and if you could work in future. So I'm going to leave it to that, and now invite Josephine from HomeNet Philippines to talk about her organization a little bit. Josephine, we can't hear you. You could be on mute. Are you on mute? Sorry, we can't hear you. Yeah, you're on mute, Josephine, I think. Now you're not on mute, but. All right, Josephine, till you get ready, should I invite from HomeNet Indonesia to talk about their work and their organizing model?
Can you hear me?
All right. So
can you hear me now?
Yes, we have Josephine from HomeNet Philippines. Please go ahead.
Bakit ayaw ako dahil? Can I talk now, John? Can I talk now?
Yes, please. Please go ahead.
Okay. HomeNet Philippines is a network of national and local membership-based organization of workers in the informal economy. But mostly we are home-based workers. Each organization is being represented in the board, and from among the board, we elect 9 as the executive officers. And our president is a female small producers, a farmer, and mostly the executive officers of home is a home-based workers. We anchored our organizing into because of the social security, protection of and at workplaces, and even protection from violence. We also have the human development training, the capacity building. We also have the campaign, the asset reform, participation or representation by the workers, not just in the national, but at the local level of decision-making bodies, and even in our advocacy for laws, because we campaign for national and local ordinances for the workers in the informal economy. And of course, we push for the strengthening of economic activity done by the workers. So basically, we are now more than 7,000 with 27 national and local organizations. So that's the dynamic of the HomeNet Philippines, of which Patamaba is one of the member of the HomeNet Philippines, which Patamaba was the original member of the HomeNet South Asia and a member of. So that's how we operate in the HomeNet Philippines.
Right. Thanks a lot, Josephine. Yeah, I'd now like to invite Momita Ben from Seva West Bengal. Momita Ben, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
Audible?
yes, hear you. Yes, please.
Hi, hello everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening for my friends today. I am from Seva, and Seva is a central trade union working in 17 states, comprises of over 2 million women members engaging in different work forms, but broadly are located in the unorganized sector. The journey of Seva in West Bengal started around 2004 with the home-based workers of BD workers in Murshidabad district. And since 2016, we are also working with the weavers in Nadia district of West Bengal. The region is known for its traditional handloom sarees since as early as the partition of Bengal. Initially, one would find the trade to be male-dominated, but in the due course, women have come to take up most of the roles involved in the production process. However, this may not be the case for handling of finance and sales, etc. Seva has been engaging with these women weavers since the past 4 years, engaging, mobilizing and building grassroots level communities and also the grassroots level leaders. Thus, altogether, our membership is 4,000. Moreover, the trade committee is part of the Seva Bengal Union, and it is through this committee that the weavers conduct with the Mahajans, which are the middlemen, with the objective to maintain proper bookkeeping records along with transparency of their wages. So we actually form this trade committee of with our Aggevans, that is grassroots leaders of our members, and they once in 3 months conduct this meeting to discuss their trade related issues, to raise their issues and to address their issues. Through this way, actually, it has decided they talk with their Mahajans. Initially, it was not easy because it is related with their wages, and they actually was that time was scared to talk with the Mahajans to lose their job. But gradually they became confident to talk with their Mahajans, and now they maintain the proper bookkeeping so that there is a transparency of their wages. And Seva also, our most achievement in this with these weavers, Seva advocacy with the government. When Seva has started working in Nadia, that time we have observed that mainly male members or male weavers have the identity card as weavers. But women does not actually, that time women did not belong under this identity card or recognition of as a weavers. But seva advocacy with the, that time advocacy with the government and census had happened. After that, last year 5,000 weavers received their identity card, and through this identity card they got their social entitlements and rights as a weaver. And in Fulia or in Nadia district, actually there is a supply chain where grassroots level weavers are in, actually they only getting orders from their submaster weavers, and submaster weavers himself or herself making or weaving some product and distribute some orders to the grassroots level weavers. And upper, at the utmost of the level, there is vendors. Vendors generally give this order to the master weavers, and in this way actually supply chain is going on. So there is a there are several types of layers from the grassroots level weavers to the master weavers or vendors. So seva, through this meeting actually seva trying to engage the grassroots level weavers so that they know their master weavers or know the supply chain or brand to get their wages. So in this way, seva is working here. And seva also providing skill development training to the women, because we also observed that they hardly get chance to update their skills. For this reason also, they are getting low wages. So we are providing training to upgrade their skill.
Thank you, Momita Ben, for explaining the trade union model and how seva works in West Bengal. Now I'd like to invite the last speaker from HomeNet Indonesia. Suntri, who's the person from HomeNet Indonesia?
Titin.
Tintin from HomeNet Indonesia. We'd like to invite you to speak a little bit about your organization.
From HomeNet Indonesia, Uwun will presentation, and Hani that from the committee of HomeNet Indonesia. Uwun and Hani, please.
Ya, HomeNet Indonesia, dari HomeNet Indonesia, pengorganisasiannya lewat jaringan. Kemudian di dalam menghadapi COVID-19 ini, yang kita lakukan adalah selain mengorganisir, ada upaya-upaya yang dilakukan, advokasi ke pemerintah untuk mendapatkan perlindungan sosial selain perlindungan kesehatan, kemudian perlindungan ketenaga kerjaan, BPJS tenaga kerja, BPJS kesehatan, itu yang diupayakan untuk pekerja rumahan. Kemudian untuk tenaga kerja mandiri atau UMKM, itu juga diupayakan program dari Dirjen Bina Perta untuk usaha kelompok. Tolong Mbak Titin diterjemahkan.
Bahani.
Halo.
Bahani. Bahani, please.
Halo Mbak Ani. Ya, monggo diterjemahkan.
Can I request you to translate what was spoken now, and then maybe you could translate further, but can you translate this bit first?
Mungkin langsung di Mbak Titin ya, biar nggak kelamaan ya.
Bahaninya mana? Katanya dia mau translate.
Nggak tahu. Langsung aja deh Mbak Titin.
Oke. Saya cuma mau menambahkan bahwa kegiatan yang ada di
English, Pak.
JPRI JPRI khususnya yang berada di bawah naungan
English, Mbak Hani, English, Mbak Hani,
ya.
English, biar nggak kelamaan.
Okay. What we try about advocation in HomeNet Indonesian to government that we try to push government to approve our draft about home-based worker, the regulation, and etc. That we move our movement have a support by another parties from labor association, and then academici, and then NGOs who cares about home-based worker. And in economics, home-based worker has help from government about a free donation from government for group business. And we start up business in our group, and we started inshallah we'll start it in this next month. Next month we will start to have our business from that supporting from government donation. And then in organization, we have adding new members. There's about right now about 200 Mbak Uun, itunya berapa ya anggota HomeNet keseluruhan?
Jumlahnya maksudnya?
Ya, jumlah keseluruhan.
Jumlah
6,000.
Hah? Berapa?
6,000.
6,000. Oh, okay.
6,000.
The number has a growth 6,000 more than before, and including about our parties like Mampu and partner, and we commit that we will support each other from home-based worker in Indonesia. I think that's all for moment now.
Mbak Titin, silakan disambung. Aku nggak nyambung.
All right. Thank you. Tintin, do you want to add something, or are we good?
Yes, I want to add our position. Our goal, the HomeNet Indonesian goal, how to reach a social protection for the home-based worker, recognized as the worker, reach to health insurance, and etc. Also, we have the committee structure is elected by all the members. Also, we the activity provide. Yes, we provide the training for the home-based worker in order to increase their capacity and also to increasing their incomes. Like we establish the cooperation. Also, we establish also for the child care. Also, we establish the kindergarten when the children to need for the when the children need the education like that, and also the home-based worker to hello.
Yeah, hi, we can hear you.
Still here.
Ya, dengar Mbak Titin.
Yeah. Also the home-based worker
Halo. Gak ada suara.
I think Tintin, you're on mute again.
Signal problem.
All right. Okay, so Tintin, are you back?
Also the home workers in our place, how to coordinate, how to establish the like education, early child education, especially for the home worker children, like that.
Right. Thank you, Tintin, Hani, and we had a third participant also from HomeNet Indonesia. Thank you for explaining the structure and the work of your organization. The participation was quite overwhelming. A lot of you talked about the different forms of organizing. Now, we don't have too much time, but we still have about 10 minutes. If people have questions, clarifying questions, you want more information, we talked about many of the organizations. There was WISE first, then Sabha Nepal, there was HomeNet Philippines, Seva in West Bengal, and HomeNet Indonesia. Any clarifying questions, anything that you want to know from each other?
Can I?
Yes, Pulsa, please go ahead.
I think among us, we will experiences that organizing is not the easy work. The not easy task, is quite difficult, and we need to be patient to struggle and to organize, even though it's quite hard work to organize, but it's very essential, it's very important that we need to organize. Otherwise, in terms of other achievement cannot happen. If we cannot organize as the in terms of numbers and in terms of qualities, this is really important. So we need a lot of training. We need a lot of lots of time at the same time.
Thank you, Punsa. Would anybody else want to say something, ask clarifying questions? All right, I have a question from Edwin here. What's the perspective of the HNSA and HNSEA members on joining HomeNet International? Could those who have presented comment? So this is for the members of HomeNet South Asia and HomeNet Southeast Asia. What is your perspective on joining HomeNet International, a global movement? I mean, would you like to join? If yes, then why? All right, Edwin, we don't have any quick answer.
No one, I can.
Yeah, all right.
I think there are level of work, like from the presentation, you can see that there are local level, national level, and international level. So the issue is different. The issue are different. So like Nutnapa said, they start from saving and help each others. So they can borrow monies, and when they have problem. They can borrow money from the groups. So the issue that they use to organize, that they use for organizing is like saving. But for national levels, we also struggle. We also fighting. We also do policy advocacy for the legal and social protection at the national level. And at the same time, because we are on over the world, we need, as I said, quality and quantity are really important. So at international level, it's very interesting if we have more numbers, more figures, and the issue is fighting with or struggling with brand, international brand or something like this. With this working with many countries. So I think that's why HomeNet Thailand like to join with HomeNet International, because we still have limit capacity to work in terms of advocacy at international level. If we come together, then we can fight together at international level.
Thank you, Punsap, for providing perspective from HomeNet Thailand. And just to add, like Punsap said, there are different forms of organizing in different purpose at local level, national level, and global level. And now during the pandemic, more than ever, we've realized the need for organizing. And, home-based workers especially are up against, huge employers, like Punsap mentioned, brands. We really have a big fight ahead. We want to push for social protection, and we know social protection funds are being made somewhere. Are they going to be useful for our workers? So a lot of, we really need to collect together, organize together, amplify our voices to ensure that home-based workers can benefit from all these global dialogues that are going on. So again, just an appeal to all the members that please reach out to your own regional coordinators to become members of HomeNet International. We're not very far ahead. We have a virtual launch in February itself, February next year. So, all right, I can see some chat. Let me just check. Okay, that was thanks, Punsap, from Edwin. So I'm going to stop here. And if we can have closing remarks from Punsap. Punsap, over to you. Just closing remarks for today.
As Janvi said, HomeNet International is launching very soon. I think maybe in October. So if we can see that we are small or big organization, but we are in different areas. If we come together, it's very important, and be patient. Be patient to organize. At some certain of time, when you are organized, is reached to that limit, the certain limit, we will jump together. So why we have to come together? Why we have to organize as an international HomeNet International organization? This is a big step for us. We need to step on. We are everywhere. No one will hear our voice if we stay separate. We have to come together. So please join HomeNet International.
All right.
And in terms of organizing, if we have any question, we can share. We can organize the webinar like this again if each of us are interesting. So don't keep up. No, keep organizing. Organize, and organize.
Thank you, Punsap. On that note, I want to announce that our next webinar is on the International Home-Based Workers Day, which is on 20th of October. It's a Tuesday, as far as I remember, and we are going to have a big webinar. So there's a request, please invite as many home-based workers as you can. We're going to send a formal invite. We're going to send an agenda, but just to prep up, please block your calendars for 20th of October for the next webinar. And on that day, let's make a lot of noise. On that note, I am just going to end today and just say, like what Punsab said, please organize, keep organizing in this time of pandemic. More power to all of you who's doing so much work on the ground, and keep safe until we meet next time. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Laura, we've taken the photographs. Thank you. Okay, sorry, we just saying, okay, Laura's saying, can you open your videos? We just want a quick photograph.
Yes, please.
Yeah, if you can switch on your video, everybody. All right. Cheese. And once more, cheese. All right. Thank you, everybody. Keep safe. Take care of yourself. Until next time.
Bye. Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Chris.